What's up, everyone? Today we're diving deep into everything that went down at the Dallas Cowboys' last open OTA session on Tuesday. This was the final chance for fans and analysts alike to catch a glimpse of what the team looks like as they move closer to training camp, and trust me, there's a lot to unpack here. Let's start by addressing some of the big headlines that emerged after the session, especially one involving Micah Parsons, who has been at the center of attention for quite some time now. So Micah Parsons made it clear on social media that he will indeed be attending the mandatory minicamp. This was pretty much expected given that the minicamps are mandatory, meaning players get fined if they don't show up. It's not optional, and Parsons himself has been present for every minicamp over the past 4 years. So this isn't out of the ordinary. But what makes this update interesting is that it clarifies any lingering doubts about whether Parsons might hold out or skip sessions amid contract negotiations. He basically stated that he's ready to be on the field for the first week of camp, and that he's preparing as if he'll be there, fully involved in the team's playbook and plans. What Parsons also hinted at is that the ball is now in the front office's court. They need to make the call and finalize his deal, but he hasn't gotten that call yet. This statement, although seemingly straightforward, carries a bit of an edge. It's like he's ready to commit, but the Cowboys management still has work to do to close this chapter. For fans and analysts, this means there's still a lot of uncertainty regarding his contract. But at least we know he's not planning to be absent from team activities, which is a relief considering how important Parsons is to the Cowboys. Defense. Now, even though Parsons will be at minicamp, there are questions about how much he'll participate in on-field drills. Could he be there just to fulfill the attendance requirement but avoid full contact or team reps? That's a possibility. Sometimes players in contract disputes show up physically but limit their participation to avoid injury or to make a subtle statement. Either way, the key takeaway is that this isn't a holdout in the traditional sense, and that's good news for the Cowboys and their fans. But let's be real here, everyone wants that deal done sooner rather than later. The longer it drags on, the more it becomes a talking point on the losing side of the ledger for the franchise. Moving on. Let's talk about the young quarterback Joe Milton, who's been giving fans a lot to talk about during OTAs. The Joe Milton experience is exactly what you might expect from a developmental backup quarterback. Some plays look downright spectacular, showcasing his athleticism and unique skill set, while others are, well, less impressive to say the least. On one hand, Milton threw a pick six during the sessions, which is obviously not ideal. On the other, he also connected on a beautiful 44-yard bomb down the sideline. Watching some of the clips, especially the one where Milton did a flip from a laying down position, it's clear this guy is a freak athlete. He has a rare combination of mobility and arm strength that not many quarterbacks possess. What makes following Milton so interesting is the roller coaster nature of his performances. One moment, you're wowed by his athleticism and throws, and the next, he's wildly missing his mark or making decisions that remind you he's still raw and learning the position at the highest level. This kind of inconsistency is typical for a quarterback in his position, especially one who's still developing in the NFL. But the excitement around Milton is real because he brings a unique flair and unpredictability to the offense. Something that can make the preseason games entertaining to watch. Speaking of players recovering and battling through injuries, the Cowboys' safety room has been a bit banged up. Malik Hooker left practice early on Tuesday with back spasms, but is expected to be ready for minicamp. Meanwhile, Marquez Callaway, the transcription said Maris Bell, but it's probably Marquez or a similar name, was still rehabbing a shoulder injury, and Donovan Wilson is recovering from a knee scope done in the offseason. This means that the top safeties who were active during the OTAs were Thomas, Elijah Clark, and Mike Smith, with Clark getting a notable amount of work with the starting defense. This is crucial for young players like Clark and Smith, as getting reps in practice allows them to build experience and potentially fight for a spot on the final roster or the practice squad. One of the standout defenders in this early phase has been George Pickens. Reports and observations from the session praised his red zone performance, especially a highlight where he made a full extension catch along the sideline, perfectly getting both feet down inbounds. That's exactly the kind of play you want from a reliable receiver, especially in tight pressure-packed situations like the red zone. Pickens has been gathering rave reviews from coaches and the front office alike, including praise from Brian Schottenheimer and Stephen Jones. If he continues this trend in the training camp, he could be a major weapon for the Cowboys this season. Pickens has shown before with his former team that he can pull off jaw-dropping catches that seem to defy physics. And fans are excited to see that kind of playmaking ability showcased in Dallas. As for cornerbacks, things are a bit up and down. KaVontae Turpin has been a consistent bright spot throughout OTAs, breaking up at least one pass each session and earning praise for his confident play. There's been a lot of shuffling at the cornerback position though. Trayvon Diggs has been absent so far, rehabbing his knee, which is a significant blow given his talent and role in the defense. Savonnet Rebel has been doing some individual work, but is also rehabbing a knee injury. Kalen Carter hasn't been a full participant as he recovers from shoulder surgery, and Josh Butler has missed time with his own knee issues. Andrew Booth, who had been practicing with the ones, was out on Tuesday for an undisclosed reason. This has forced Israel Mukwamu to play more on the outside than originally expected. And with so many injuries, the depth at cornerback is looking thin. The other options on the roster, including CJ Goodwin, Cameron Curl, Troy Pride, Luke Braun, and Bruce Harmon, are mostly depth players, special teamers, or practice squad hopefuls. Given the current state of affairs, it's fair to say that the Cowboys' secondary is a little precarious right now. This raises the question, do the Cowboys need to add another cornerback before the season? It's a debate worth having because depth and health at that position will be critical come week 1 and beyond. Shifting gears to Donovan Ezurike, he's been quietly gaining attention by taking some snaps off the edge and showing versatility in different defensive packages. It looks like the Cowboys might be planning to utilize him in certain super Micah Parsons type packages, where Parsons' pass rushing skills can be complemented by Ezurike's ability to play off the edge or drop into coverage and zone blitz looks. While his main role remains as a pass rusher, this kind of adaptability could give the defense more looks and keep offenses guessing. Still, it's important not to overhype this yet. He's primarily an edge rusher, and his value will be measured by how effectively he pressures the quarterback. On the offensive side of the ball, running back Miles Sanders has shown flashes of explosiveness in back-to-back weeks of OTAs. While we likely won't see Sanders at his absolute peak like we did during his Philadelphia days, it's encouraging to see him looking sharp and capable of stepping up in the Cowboys' backfield. With no pads on him early in the offseason, these are still just baseline indicators, but a healthy and productive running game will be vital. The Cowboys have options with Javonte Williams, Sanders, and other backs, but if one of them can consistently produce, that's a big boost for the offense. Lastly, it's worth highlighting a couple of under-the-radar players who have been impressing on the third team during OTAs. These guys are fighting hard for roster spots, which are tough to come by, especially at positions like wide receiver and defensive end, where the Cowboys already have strong depth. Players like Holden and Luigi Valin have shown enough flashes that they might carve out practice squad spots, which is valuable for their development and for the team's future depth. All in all, the last OTA session gave us a lot to think about. There are emerging stars, lingering questions, and plenty of intrigue as the Cowboys inch closer to training camp. Injuries and contract negotiations are still the big variables, but the work ethic and effort on the field have been clear. Fans should keep an eye on how these situations develop, because the next few weeks will shape the team's outlook heading into the 2025 season. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Rumors are swirling around the future of Dak Prescott in Dallas as speculation grows that the star quarterback may be considering a departure from the Cowboys. While no official statements have been made by the team or Prescott's representatives, recent comments from the quarterback have sparked a wave of uncertainty among fans and analysts alike. During a recent interview, Prescott hinted at the possibility of leaving the only NFL team he has ever played for, saying he is keeping all of his options open as he approaches the end of his current contract. The statement, though brief, was enough to ignite discussions across the league about where the two-time Pro Bowler might land if he decides to move on from Dallas. Prescott has been the face of the Cowboys since being drafted in 2016, leading the team to multiple playoff appearances and becoming one of the NFL's most recognizable figures. However, with negotiations for a contract extension reportedly stalling and with the quarterback market continuing to escalate, some insiders believe that Prescott may be evaluating his future with the franchise more critically than ever. Adding fuel to the fire, several unnamed sources close to the situation have suggested that Prescott is seeking not only financial security, but also greater influence over team decisions, something he might not fully receive under the current Cowboys. Leadership. Meanwhile, other reports indicate that a few quarterback-needy teams are already monitoring the situation closely should Prescott indeed become available. Of course, this could all simply be part of a strategic negotiation tactic. Athletes and their agents often use media speculation as leverage in contract talks. Still, the mere possibility of Prescott leaving Dallas has sent shockwaves through the NFL community. For now, Cowboys fans are left wondering, is this just another offseason rumor, or is one of the most significant quarterback moves in recent memory quietly taking shape? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. All eyes will be on Prescott and the Cowboys in the coming months. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.